Yeah, just a great weekend. Obviously, happy about the win, and after watching the film and evaluating with the staff, we know some areas of improvement that we need to make. But the one thing that I'm really excited about, and from watching the entire season, really proud of our guys, our players, our team for the fight that they have in them. I love the physical part of the game, the aggressiveness. I also like that we knew going into this season was going to be kind of a battle every week, and especially when we get into conference, and that's kind of been proven. We've been through the transition before. A lot of guys on our staff of going from a G5, or in our case, an independent to into a power program, a power conference like the Big 12, and so we knew that there was going to be there's going to be some things about it that were unique, and we knew that having the battle, being committed to the physical part of the game, and being committed to getting depth at every position, and so we're sitting in a really good spot right now going to the bye week. But after evaluating it, I'm really proud of the boys, proud of the team, proud of the coaches, their commitment to each other and to our culture, but also commitment to just knowing that they got to battle it out, and that's kind of been proven in every game. And you're looking at the Big 12 conference, a lot of parity, but also you're looking at there's large leads that aren't safe. There's a lot of games coming down to the wire, and so that's just going to have to be part of it. You got to be ready for a battle every week, and we knew our guys would be committed to it. And it's just nice to evaluate and watch the film and see that these guys are committed to doing that every week, and if we can get that done, I feel really good about our chances in going to the last 7 games of the season. So a lot of really positive things to work on, and really excited that we can get this time to work on some of our deficiencies and work on some things that we can get better and improve our depth, develop our guys still. So it's a loaded week for work for us. The only difference is we're not playing in the game, so we don't have to go through the physical part of that. But we will have physical practices, and looking into it, we'll have an opportunity for our guys to develop, especially young guys to develop, and we'll get some guys that will be healthier and get them back for the TCU game. So all in all, we haven't added to guys being lost for this season. We have guys that have been banged up, and then watching the film, we had guys that performed in the last couple of weeks, last few weeks, maybe not being 100%, and probably should have rested them a little bit, and so we did that. We've done that and made the decision to do that a little bit this week, and we'll see what happens when we get to the remainder of our season, starting at TCU. But right now we're feeling pretty good about where we're at, and I am feeling really good about the status of our team and the mindset that our team has going into every game. And then just really proud of our fans too. I think fans done an amazing job, giving great atmosphere, great environment. Our fans are awesome, and I'm glad that they get to show it on a national stage with our student section, with The Rock, and with all our fans being, whether it's here or on the road, we have fans that represent really well, and I'm proud of those guys, and I hope our fans know how much we love and appreciate them, and we're really looking forward to next game. Unfortunately, this one's a bye, but we'll get ready and make sure that we're ready to roll by the time we head out to Fort Worth. So any questions you guys may have, I'll take them now.
All right, we'll go ahead and start with Jared Lloyd and then Mitch Harper.
Kalani, after every game, basically, you've said that you don't feel like the team's been able to put it all together quite yet. You want to see that happen. Is there any way to quantify how close you are and what needs to happen to get that, that last gap closed and be able to put together that complete game you're seeking for?
Yeah, but I think for me, it's like seeking the perfect game. I don't know if that's ever going to happen in football. It's all the plays going our way the entire game. I like to see it. That's what we're striving for. But the commitment to doing that is one thing. It's not just in the game. It's what are you doing during the week. Are you committed to your nutrition, to the advantages that you can find any which way? Are you trying to find the ways to be focused and just trying to get better at every practice, every rep? And so that's we have guys that are improving in football and their football IQ, and even in our system, that aren't getting reps, and you can see it when they have an opportunity to play. And so when guys aren't able to go, we had young guys step up and fill in really nicely, and that's a lot of different positions. And right now we don't have to call on a bunch of guys, but we know that we can if needed. And as we look through this, the practices this week is kind of maybe test our guys and see how far they've come in the last 5 weeks. We know what they did in fall camp, and maybe there could be some really interesting battles for competition, for playing time throughout this week. Now that guys are battling the injury part and they're trying to get to 100%, and there's guys that are at 100%, and maybe they lacked a little bit of experience or maybe knowledge of the system, of the scheme, and now we're at a point where there's not a lot of newcomers. Everybody kind of knows a little bit more about what we're trying to do in all 3 phases, and now let's see what we can do with the competition now.
You touched on this a couple of times, but obviously health is a big thing this week. Any updates injury-wise, and how do you feel overall health of the team is at this point?
Yeah, we like I mentioned before, we don't talk about injuries unless they're season-ending, and so that's a good sign. We're still looking at getting guys back. I think there's a good number of players that could come back for the TCU game, and then there's some that will probably take a couple more weeks after that. But I think for those that have got hurt in the last couple weeks, there's a good chance that they could all come back by TCU.
Kalani, I wanted to ask you about Kingsley. So much expectations were placed on him being a preseason All-Big 12 selection this year. Where have you seen the biggest growth from Kingsley in his second full year as a starter?
Well, Kingsley's always been a great athlete, and I think moving, he went to the right tackle side and then moved over to the left. He could play any position. He could play a lot of positions on the team. So I just like his mindset. I like where he's at. I think we want to be able to get more plays on offense so we can get guys like Kingsley rolling and doing what he does best, which is be physical at the line of scrimmage. And so that's the focus. I've been pretty pleased with everyone and their commitment to getting better, and Kingsley's one of them. But he's leading the way. He's one of our captains, and I've been really pleased with the entire team. But yeah, he's done some good things. I don't think Kingsley's really worried about his individual accolades. I think he's concerned more about how he can help the team and how he can help the offense.
And I wanted to ask about a defensive player in the trenches, Tyler Patty. He was a player you were excited about his potential when you signed him out of high school. What's working for him in this new scheme, and your thoughts on how he's progressed this year?
Well, the versatility that we can do with him. He's big and strong and fast, and we could do a lot of different things with him. But he's also athletic enough to drop in the zones if we need him to, or play some man coverage. And so I think Jay's done some really unique things and some creative ways to get our guys in the best positions to highlight their skills, but also helps our team giving different looks. And Jay's got a lot of stuff in the defense, and we are not executing at the level that I want us to be, and Jay wants us to execute at a higher level too. But it's good to have good athletes like Batty to utilize the skill that we have on the team. And I think he can do a lot of different things. We know he can play DN, but there's a lot of things that he can do to help us, and the versatility helps us to be able to use him in so many different ways.
Thanks, Mitch. We'll go Kevin and then Jay Drew.
Hey, Kalani, you kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier, but some of the leads that were lost in the Big 12 this week, and then TCU obviously loses. Just in your assessment right now, how wide open do you think is the Big 12, and how much did you get to watch of it this weekend?
I got to watch a lot of the games, especially because we played Friday, and so watched all the games and watched conference. So it was a great weekend. Watched some NFL football, but in the Big 12, in terms of looking at the games they're battles, and it's been that way even before we got into the conference. There's parity in the conference, different teams playing for championships, everybody playing like they have a chance to get into the championship, which they do. So everyone controls their destiny right now, and so that's a really competitive conference, and it's really exciting for us to be part of that. So looking into this, and you watch the film, it's like there's great coaches all across the conference, great talent, and so everybody has a chance, and that's I just want to make sure that we have a chance too. That's my job, to play to that standard and elevate our play, and hopefully get us playing at a very high level.
Kalani, through 5 games, who are some of the guys that in your mind have been kind of surprises? I mean, obviously LJ Martin's a huge one, but any other guys that kind of maybe you didn't see the production that they're giving you when the season started?
No, not a lot of surprises. I think we've been around long enough to know that we have some good talent and predicting and projecting where guys can perform and how they can do it. I mean, we told you guys about L.J. Martin before he was doing what he's doing, so that wasn't even a surprise, you know. So I believe A-Rod and other coaches have been singing his praises from the beginning. But we have a talented team, and we as coaches need to find ways to use all the talent to the best of our ability and their ability, and find ways to make them really great advantages for us in games. And so it's hard for me to say talent. It would probably be guys that filled in, but for injured players. But we knew that we had good depth too. So I'm not really surprised by a lot of the performance. I just know that when guys have their opportunities, they're going to step up and make plays. We knew Parker Kingston could do what he's been doing, and you know, we knew about the receivers that are coming in, whether it's Chase Roberts or Kibo or, you know, or Darius or Keelan or Cody, all those, or Isaac. There's a lot of guys that we know we can count on to make plays.
I wanted to ask you specifically about Marcus McKenzie too. The fact that he does so well as a gunner, are you content with what he's doing, or are you going to try to get him on the field more? It seems like he's a guy that could help you in other areas.
Yeah, we know that. I mean, we know that Marcus can play, so that's why we brought him here, and that's why, you know, K-Pop's using him as a huge weapon for us on special teams. He definitely is on the depth for us at corner. We think he's got a really bright future for us, and we'll keep working with him and perhaps give him more opportunities to be on the field. We'll see, but you know, we have a lot of capable and really good players there, so. The competition, that's what's fun about this week. Compete and the best play and compete at a high level and earn more playing time on the field on defense. But really pleased with what he's doing on special teams. I mean, he got double teamed quite a bit and still made tackles. That's really impressive.
All right, let's go back to Mitch Harper and then Jared Lloyd.
Kalani, I wanted to ask you, with it being a bye week, a recruiting question. I'm just kind of curious, how much has the move to the Big 12 caused your program to maybe expand its pool of high school prospects you consider or extend scholarship offers to?
Yeah, I mean, the effort to recruit and you know, basically get a bigger, larger net, it's been really helpful being in the Big 12, but it's more than anything, people that are interested in what we do, and they're interested in our team and our culture. And so there's a lot of high school kids that are calling us, and there's a lot of players that are recruits that are calling us, and they're expressing interest in our program. And then they're seeing the energy that our fans bring, and they're seeing that the great reputation that our fans have, and the interaction that they have with other fans. And I'm really proud of our fans and the way that they interact with the other fans, especially in the Big 12 conference. I've just heard nothing but great reports from opposing schools, and so they're doing a great job representing, and that stuff matters. It attracts recruits, and it attracts positivity in our program, and so let's keep working on this together. This is something that it's a special place, and we want more people to know about it. And so in recruiting, they have to be a fit, though. They have to be committed to what we do and what makes us unique at this university. And obviously, you know, us being a faith-based institution, and that we're aligned and attached to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We want to make sure that that everyone knows about that and how that could be really beneficial to them and their life, to have talks and opportunities to speak and conversate about Christ and about the gospel and wonderful things that makes us unique. And we're going to hang on to those things and make them a positive for us and make them an advantage.
And then just one quick follow-up. I know you can't get into specific names of 2024 prospects, but are you expecting to sign 25 guys in the 2024 cycle, or a little bit under that?
No, I think the hard part, Mitch, is when you're trying to forecast who's going to the league and things like that, and who's graduating. The attrition and the retention of guys coming and going. That's always going to be what we adjust to. So we have a good bulk of recruits that we have committed that we really like, and then there's others that we can add to it. So really, that's all depending on how much space we have on our team and how many guys are returning.
Kalani, you talked about guys going to the league and obviously some successes this past weekend. You got to watch some. You talked about seeing a little bit of pro football. What does that mean for your program when you have some of your former guys, having standout performances and kind of bringing that attention to their BYU roots?
Yeah, I mean it's great for us, but that's part of my job. Part of my job is to get these young men to realize that they can play at the next level, and they can do it with the values that we have and in alignment with the things that we do at this university. So they can do all those things and then get a great degree and work hard in the academics here and open up new treasures of talent that they have. And that's not just on the football field, but you see the guys that are out there doing their thing. I'm hoping to add to it. That's my job. And my job is to get these guys to be the best versions of themselves. And that's in football, but that's also in life. I want them to be the best sons, brothers. And, we have great future husbands and future dads here. I can't wait to see them accomplish so many things. And so, obviously, I want them to accomplish their dreams. And it's not just football, but the NFL, trying to get them there, that's part of it. I want to talk about it often just as much as I talk about their responsibilities as a father and a husband when they get older. So that you can talk about all that together. And here we can talk about the gospel, talk about math and science and geography, all that stuff, and talk about football. It's one of the few places that you can do that openly. And we have guys of other faiths that love being here. They can worship their religion and become best versions of themselves spiritually, physically, and mentally.
Okay, Coach, we'll have a couple more questions from Kevin Reynolds.
Hey, Kalani, just going up on Mitch's question, how much increased interest have you seen from Texas recruits specifically? And with the 2 trips to Texas in October, how much do these games against like TCU and Texas help with those efforts?
Yeah, I mean that's always been really good for us to get into the conference because you're gonna get interest from schools that in that area, and Texas being one of them, and Texas, Oklahoma. So we're going to recruit young men that want to be here. It doesn't really matter where they're from, but being in the conference makes sense. We're going to be playing in that area and quite often, so we're going to always recruit guys that fit what we want to get done here and fit the school, fit the mission of our school and our church and the program. So we're all in alignment with that, but it's getting young men that are committed to doing that here, and we have a diverse group of young men, but they're committed to being the best versions of themselves, and that's what we're looking for. I'm not. There's great football players out there. I want really great young men to complement the great football player.
Okay, Coach, looks like that's all the questions for today. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, guys.